My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the 2019 Dumbo. And I have to begin this review by saying three things. The first thing is I've never really cared for the original Dumbo all too much. I mean, it's fine, it's a nice movie, but it's not one I ever go back to. The second thing is Tim Burton is one of my favorite directors of all time. And the third thing is I did see this movie back in March 2019 and I didn't really like it. Now that all that has been said, I just rewatched this movie for the first time, and definitely not the last because I actually kind of loved the movie this time, and I feel like this is one of those Tim Burton movies that nobody talks about. This is one of those Disney live action remakes that nobody talks about, but they really should. So let's begin by talking about the cast. And Nico Parker is such a hit or miss actress for me, but I do think this is her best work yet. She's just very sincere and she brought some love and passion to this movie, and I think she does excel here. Finley Hobbins, I think, does a pretty good job as well. Colin Farrell is an actor I love, and I love how sincere he is in this movie, and I thought he did enough here. Not one of his best performances, but still good for this movie. Danny DeVito is such an entertaining actor, and I loved what he brought to this movie. Just so much personality and energy, and him being the circus owner is a perfect character for him to play. Michael Keaton is a very over the top businessman here, and I think he did a really good job. Eva Green, I like how when you first meet her, you might think she's not a good person, but as you get to know her, you start to like her more and more, and I just liked what she brought to this movie. And Alan Arkin is barely in it, but he's still a nice actor to see show up every now and again. So the cast does do a real good job, but the real star of this movie is the incredible direction by Tim Burton. I do not remember this movie looking as good as it does. Like, this movie is beautifully crafted and it's just a stunning movie to look at. Like, the production design here is top notch. I love the steampunk look and I love the look of Nightmare Island. And then the CGI is very convincing and the costumes look great as well. So, from a technical standpoint, this movie is just perfection, and it's easily one of, if not the best looking Disney live action remakes. But I also really like the music by Danny Elfman. It's not one of his best scores, but it does more than enough to elevate this movie. And it just has this nice whimsy atmosphere. It's kind of shocking that it took until now for Tim Burton to make a movie about the circus, and you can tell he feels right at home here. And I mean that in a very good way. And Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a big fan of the original, so I love the way he expands upon it here. I like how there's two different stories of parents and their kids. There's the story of Dumbo and his mother, and the story of Cornflake coming back from war, trying to bond with his kids. And the movie can be very heartfelt at times. And I also love how the entire second half of this movie is completely new. There's this big corporation that buys this circus, and things don't go well. And I just think it added plenty to this story. One thing I love about Tim Burton as a director is just how personal his movies are to him. His movies are often about weird people who feel like they don't belong. His movies usually have difficult relationships between the parents and kids. And you get that here as well. But on top of that, I feel like you also get a side of him that is critiquing the very company he is working with to make this movie. How Disney can just take artists and just take away their creativity and take away their passion. And I love how he explores that here. That these big corporations don't care about you. If you died, they wouldn't shed a tear. So I feel like there is still plenty that Tim Burton is using this story to explore, and it just comes across as very sincere at the same time. So yes, this movie just fully works for me. It might be a little slow at times, and there's one line at the end of the movie where the circus no longer has animals in captivity, which I felt like was really shoehorned in, but the story and the way it expands upon the original works much better here. The characters are well explored. I like how their relationships come into play. I think the movie is very sincere, it's very heartfelt. It captures the sense of pure movie magic at times. And this movie just looks incredible. And I love the whimsy circus atmosphere of it. And yeah, I actually think this movie is pretty great. I would say it is one of the few Disney live action remakes I actually love. So I'm giving Dumbo an 8 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Dumbo? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin,